Hey everyone, welcome back. Today, I want to talk about something that sounds simple but really affects a lot of us: choosing our friends wisely. I know, choosing friends sounds like such a basic topic, right? But hear me out. This is something that actually shapes who we are in ways we sometimes don't even realize. Let's start with a question. And have you ever thought about why you're friends with the people you're close to? Like, really thought about it, not just, oh, we've known each other forever or we have fun together, but actually thought about what they bring to your life. Because believe it or not, the people you surround yourself with have a direct impact on your mindset, your goals, even your self esteem. There's this saying, I know I mentioned it before, you're the average of the five people you spend the most time with. And that's not just a cute phrase to throw around. It's true. If you're around people who are always complaining, who don't take life seriously, who are negative about everything, that stuff rubs off. But if you're with people who are positive, who support your growth, who challenge you to be better, you'll start to pick up on those things too. The impact friends have on us. Let's talk a bit more about why this is so important. Our friends influence not just what we do, but how we see ourselves. Have you noticed that? Think about it. If you're around people who constantly make jokes at your expense, even if they say they're just kidding, it starts to impact how you feel about yourself. You might start doubting yourself, or maybe you stop trying new things because you're afraid of getting laughed at. Or maybe you have friends who only talk about superficial things, who don't have any real ambition or passion for life. If that's all you hear day in and day out, it's easy to start feeling like your own dreams don't matter either. Now, on the flip side, imagine having friends who actually care about you and what you're working towards. People who support your goals, who ask you how things are going, who remind you of your potential. When you have those kinds of people in your life, you start to believe in yourself more, you take more risks, push yourself harder, because you know there are people cheering you on. That's the kind of impact a good friend should have on you. They should push you, not pull you down. How to identify real friends? Okay, so how do you actually know who's a real friend and who's maybe just a casual acquaintance, or let's be real, someone who might not have your best interests at heart? First of all, let's get one thing straight. A real friend makes you feel good about who you are. Now, I don't mean they're constantly flattering you or telling you you're amazing. I mean, they accept you as you are. You don't feel like you have to put on an act or be someone you're not just to keep them around. Here's a good test. Think about the last time you messed up or went through something tough. How did your friends react? Did they support you, give you space to be vulnerable, or were they the type to disappear? A true friend is someone who's there when things aren't fun, when you're going through a hard time, or when you're facing challenges. They don't just vanish when life gets tough or when you're not at your best. Another big one is honesty. Real friends are honest with you, even when it's hard. They're not afraid to tell you when you're making a mistake or when you're doing something that might hurt you in the long run. And yeah, it might not feel great in the moment. Nobody loves being called out, but isn't it better to have someone who's looking out for you? A true friend won't just nod along or tell you what you want to hear if it's going to harm you. Signs of a one-sided friendship. All right, let's dive into something that a lot of people don't like to admit: one-sided friendships. We've all been there. You're putting in all this effort to stay connected. You're the one reaching out, checking in, making plans, but it feels like you're getting nothing back. This kind of friendship can be exhausting, and it can make you feel like you're just not worth someone else's time or energy. But here's the thing: friendships are supposed to be a two-way street. If you find yourself constantly giving without receiving, whether that's emotional support, time, or just general interest, that's a red flag. Real friends will meet you halfway. They'll make an effort because they care, not because they feel obligated. And if someone is always too busy for you, or they only come around when they need something, it might be time to reevaluate that relationship. Remember, your time and energy are valuable. Don't waste them on people who don't see your worth. Building boundaries and letting go. Now, I know it's not easy to walk away from a friendship, especially if you've known the person for a long time, but sometimes setting boundaries is necessary for your own well being. And setting boundaries doesn't mean you're being mean or selfish, it just means you're protecting your energy. If someone is always bringing you down, or if you feel worse after spending time with them, it's okay to take a step back. Letting go doesn't have to be dramatic either. It doesn't mean you have to cut people out completely, but maybe you see them less or you keep the conversations lighter. Sometimes just creating a little distance can make a big difference. Remember, you're allowed to choose who's in your life, and it's okay if some people don't make the cut. The positive influence of good friends. Let's flip the script now and talk about the good friends, the ones who make your life better just by being in it. Good friends are the people who lift you up, who make you laugh, who remind you of your worth. They're the ones who celebrate your wins, no matter how big or small, and who don't feel threatened by your success. They'll cheer you on, help you up when you fall, and tell you to keep going when you feel like giving up. A good friend will also challenge you. They won't just let you stay comfortable, they'll encourage you to grow, to take risks, and to step out of your comfort zone. They might even push you toward opportunities you didn't think you were ready for, just because they believe in you. That's the kind of influence you want around you. And here's the thing, you don't need a million friends to feel fulfilled. Even just a few real loyal friends are enough. People who know the real you, who see your potential, and who want the best for you. Having just a handful of these people is so much more valuable than having a large circle of people who don't really care. Final thoughts. So, if there's one thing to take away from all of this, it's this: be mindful of who you let into your life. Choosing your friends wisely isn't about being selective in a snobby way. It's about respecting yourself and your journey. Surround yourself with people who bring out the best in you, who encourage you, and who make you feel like you can be your true self. And one last thing, be the friend you want to have. If you want loyal, supportive, and honest friends, be that person for others too. Friendships are a two-way street, and the more you invest in being a good friend, the more likely you are to attract people who will do the same for you. So take a look at your circle. Think about who's there for you, who makes you feel valued, and who genuinely wants to see you succeed. Those are your real friends. The rest? Well, maybe it's time to let them go. Life's too short to spend it with people who don't help you grow.